This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice or be a substitute for therapy. Please contact a mental health professional as needed. If you are in need of urgent or emergency health care, please contact your medical and or mental health provider, call 911, or go to your nearest emergency room. The information presented in this podcast does not reflect the opinions of those with whom Dr. Ellick might be affiliated as an employee, consultant, or colleague, past or present. Hello and welcome to another episode of From Mayhem to Mindset with Dr. Laura. I am your host, Dr. Laura Ellick, and I say this about every guest, but I am touched to have this guest here today. This means a lot to me in a lot of ways, and we'll talk about it later, how a lot of times people who you know earlier in your life come back and it's full circle and you see them in a totally different way. And my guest today was kind and gracious enough to allow me to have him on my show, to have him tell his story, to ask the questions. I'm just really impressed by this young man, and I absolutely know that you guys will be too. So Jagger Rubio is a Penn State graduate with a master's in accounting, originally from Long Island. That's Strong Island for you people. He was originally from Long Island, but as of August this year, he now lives in Manhattan. Good for you. So he started his career at PwC in early September before being diagnosed with a high-grade astrocytoma on September 30th. Currently undergoing chemotherapy and radiation treatment at NYU Hospital with strength, determination, and positivity. Let us welcome Jagger Rubio to the show. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. So all of the coincidences kind of lined up with this. So for people who don't know, Jagger is a 2020 graduate of Smithtown High School West. I got all the years right. So he graduated with my son. Now, you went to Smithtown Elementary too, right?
No, I moved to Smithtown in sixth grade, and then I met Trevor in seventh and eighth grade, I think.
Seventh grade, when you played, was it lacrosse and football?
Lacrosse. I didn't play football.
You didn't play football. Okay, so you played lacrosse.
Trevor were good friends all throughout high school.
Gotcha. And your brother, Jackson, graduated the same year as my other son, Owen, right?
Yep, lined up perfectly.
It lined up perfectly. So I have to give props to your parents for the names they gave you guys. Like, these are phenomenal names. So how did you guys get your names?
It's less exciting than it sounds. I was named after a street that my dad grew up on.
That's pretty sentimental.
Yeah, sentimental, just not Mick Jagger, the rock star, but close enough.
Right.
And then Jackson I'm not really sure where Jackson's name came from, but it was Jackson with an X, not a CK.
Right, which is awesome. I love that. So you grew up Smithtown, did the college thing. Your mom and your dad, as it turns out, wound up being like best friends with the gentleman, Brian Howie, who owns Pod Populi. And so all of these connections came up and it was just crazy. And I'm like, Jagger has to be on the show. He has to. So you go to school, you go to Smithtown, you go to Penn, right? Life is just kind of chugging along. And then what happened?
I was ready to start my job. I came out of school with my master's, had the summer to myself, started studying for my CPA exam, started work training for the first month, and then I had to get an MRI. I started having numbness in my fingers over the last 8 months, I would say. And then just a random day, I had a ball of numbness go down my right side, had to get an MRI checked out. Turns out to be a tumor in my brain on the left side of my brain, affecting the right side of my body. So just complete throwing a wrench into my life right when I moved to the city, right when I started a new job. And now I'm here fighting it, feeling good, feeling positive.
So you had said that you had numbness in your fingers, right? So let me just tell you, I'm a little bit older than you. I have symptoms of something every single day. Right? Something is always hurting or aching or tingling or whatever. So you're feeling numbness in your finger. It could be anything.
I thought it was the way I held my phone.
That makes sense because my fingers go numb from holding my phone too.
Yep. So I was like just pushing it off the side. I'm like, what is this going to be? Maybe it's the way I sleep. Doctors told me it could be because I sleep on my face, like sleep on my hand wrong, or just how I'm holding my phone. So if there's anything I learned, get it checked out.
Hmm.
Early detection is always the best way to do it. Who knows what would happen if I found this out 5 months later? Like,
Hmm.
who knows?
Hmm. Hmm. So then you wake up and it has moved to your face.
Yes, randomly one night out, I started eating, had lunch with my parents, driving home, and then just a ball of numbness in my face. I'm looking at myself in my rearview mirror while I'm driving, and like I'm smiling, and half of my face won't smile.
So, okay,
Just
so it wasn't just numb, like it wasn't moving.
no, it was like a ball of numbness, and then it started just drag down my face, drag down my body. Scary experience.
I
What
bet.
happened? Maybe next day. Wait, this is a sign. I only originally went to the doctor to get the numbness checked out the day before I had this ball of numbness. The day before, or else I wouldn't have been able to tell the doctor. So I'm
Mhm.
very appreciative that it happened in that time.
Right, right. So you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, "Yeah, let's not mess around. Let's just go get an MRI."
Yep.
Okay. Was the doctor concerned at the time, or he was like, let's just do it as a precaution?
It was a little concern, but not much urgency.
Hmm.
We had no idea that it was linked to the numbness of my fingers. He pawned that off. He was like, "That's probably something else. You can probably get a brace where you sleep at night, and it'll fix it."
Hmm.
Turns out it's linked there. So
Hmm.
we got that, and I got the MRI within the next few weeks.
Wow. So how long did it take to get the actual results? Like it can take a while to get an MRI. Did they rush it?
They, I wouldn't say they rushed it. I said I think I was a little bit lazier in my. I was just starting my new life. I was back and forth. I was going to Florida for training for my job. I was like, it wasn't the first thing that was on my mind.
You're
So
23. Why
I
would it
didn't
be,
rush it.
right?
What?
You're 23. It wouldn't be the first thing on your mind. Or
Yeah,
24. Are
I've
you 24
never
yet?
had any health problems I've experienced in my life. So I was like, okay, what is it going to be? Let's just do it. But then one day just clicked. I was like, we're doing it tomorrow. I'm calling it, setting them up, do it. Go there the next morning, get it. And then about 10 minutes after I left the MRI, I get a call from the doctor saying, your parents are coming to get you. You're going to the ER. You have a possible tumor in your brain.
Wow. And where were you at the time? You were in New York?
Yes. So I live down in Murray Hill. I went up to Upper East Side to go get the MRI done. I took the subway up. MRI took about maybe 30 minutes. I leave and I decide, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk today. I'm going to walk back down to my apartment instead of go take the subway. Good thing I walked because I received that call on my walk home instead of receiving it in the subway, having no idea, no one knew where I was.
Mhm.
So I had that walk to myself, kind of gather my thoughts, and just like life-changing news kind of just dropped on you.
Mhm.
But I'm glad I had that time to think.
Mhm. How did you feel originally?
Just kind of shocked. It's kind of like, why me? Like, why? Like, how did this happen to me? What reason? It's like you think, oh, is it a something that like your family had before? Is this passed down? Is this completely random? Is it because of environmental factors? No clue. It's just a million thoughts just running into your mind. You have no idea what to think.
Mhm. Mhm. So you get the call. I'm guessing, did they call your parents or you called your parents?
For some reason, my mom's phone number was the first emergency contact instead of my own. So they called her first.
Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty scary for my mom. Hearing that right away, she was first to hear out of anyone. And then they called me. They said your parents are coming to the city to pick you up. And then I have calls with my dad, and then like my grandparents or something all call me in the same way. Just kind of everyone's figuring out the news. What's the next step? We know we're going to the ER, but they live an hour and a half away. Where do we go? I just come back here, and it's like no one wants to leave you alone
Mhm.
when you first find out because it's such shocking news. But I don't know if I felt positivity still in that time. It's not like I got this news dropped on me and it was like, this is the end of the world. I still felt something. I still felt faith in what was going to happen. So I felt good being by myself and glad that my parents were on the way, but I was okay.
It's interesting because people cope in a lot of different ways with news, right? With terrible news, even good news, right? And all shades of in between. Some people like to process with people. Some people like to think it through first. Like I'm a think through person. Like if I had everybody coming to my place to see me, I think I would be overwhelmed. So at that time, were you thinking like, okay, I need this buffer to kind of just like think things through a little bit?
Yeah, I'm glad I had that time. I'm glad I had that walk where at points I was on the phone with my parents. At points I was just listening to music, just trying to calm myself down and just alone in my own thoughts. And I think that was good. And I'm very glad I had that because I am like you, I'm a thinker. I need to think things through. How's it going to go?
Mm-hmm. And what I find really interesting, and so I think telling about your personality, and one of the reasons why I really wanted you on the show is you said in one of your TikTok videos that struck me was about mindset. Was like it's how you're going to approach a situation, and you're like, do you have a motto for how you're approaching it?
I don't know about a motto, but more of just like I'm trying not to take every day for granted. I'm trying to wake up every day with the utmost positivity and just attack the day in the best way that I can.
Mm-hmm. So you go to the hospital, you get obviously the test done, they do a biopsy, I'm assuming, you get some news. Now, how do you make the decisions about what to do next? You're young, right? Like, what do you do?
I have never had surgery in my entire life. I was like, I'm 23 and I feel like most people have surgeries before they're 23. I've never had anything. I was the first thing. It's like, oh, you're having a craniotomy next week. Because I got there, went to the ER, stayed overnight, vitals, get me everything right. And they're like, yep, we're setting it next week. We need to get in here and see what the damage is. Because they started out with calling it a grade 2, low grade astrocytoma. I'm like, okay, it's slow growing. This could have been here for a while. Like we have no idea how long. Like we might have caught this early or this might have been here, but right now it seems fine. Mm-hmm. Then we had surgery the following week and then come to find out, okay, it's probably a grade 3 high grade astrocytoma. It's moving quicker. Mm-hmm. They had to send this away to go get a biopsy on the actual tumor. More bad news. It is a grade 4 diffuse hemispheric glioma, the news just kept getting worse and worse. But I still maintain that positive mindset that everything's going to be all right. I feel like I'm in the best hands. I think NYU has done a great job of making me feel like that. And I wouldn't want to try anything else. I'm going to look at different trials and try different things soon because my chemo and radiation ends in a few weeks. But I am still very hopeful for what's to come. And I feel like there's not sometimes you're going to have those times where you get down yourselves, but they don't last for very long. And I pull myself back to reality and I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. So, how does your head feel?
Fine. Completely. Like I had surgery on Wednesday, October 8th. I left the hospital Thursday, October 9th around 4 p.m. and I walked home 5 blocks.
They don't keep you very long for that, huh?
Nope. They told me expect to be here until Friday. They said, nope, you can leave today. Go ahead. Walked me home. Didn't put me in a wheelchair down anyway. They're just like, oh, get up and you can go. Mm-hmm. I feel fine. I haven't had any major side effects. They said usually in week 3 or 4 of the radiation is when your fatigue starts to peak.
Yeah.
I feel it, but not as much as I thought I would. Like I still feel really good.
Mm-hmm. So how much of the tumor were they able to get with the surgery?
Not too much. They were able to get the most aggressive part.
Oh, that's
which
good.
They were happy about that they were able to go in there and get the safe because it is more grown down where they can't take it all out. Mm-hmm. So they were able to get what's safe to go test the biopsy and then go further with what's the next steps.
So they didn't keep you awake where they sort of tested each part to see like how far we can go, like sometimes.
They said that they would test me I was sleeping. I was knocked out the whole time, but they said that they would like test that my body part, my right side of my body was still functioning.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you woke up, what'd you think?
Where am I?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like what's going on? Because it's just like one moment you're there. It's the first time I've ever gone under anesthesia.
Oh gosh. Okay. So how did that feel for you?
More of just like, I wasn't scared because I've never been knocked out in my entire life, even through all the sports that I played when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So it was just kind of like, oh, sleep, I'm up. And
Mm-hmm.
then just kind of getting my bearings again, wasn't too scared. And then the only problem I would say is it started hurting in the back of my head for the like 3 hours after. I had like some like pretty severe pain, but as expected, they just drilled into my head
Right.
like 2 hours before that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So even looking at the way you explain things, you can kind of see how you process. I think it's important for everybody to hear this kind of thing. Some people would feel pain here, and their immediate reaction might be, "Oh my God, something's wrong. Like I'm going to die. I have to talk to the doctor. I have to do something." And they would throw themselves into fight or flight, which makes everything 100% worse. But your immediate reaction was one of like, again, intellectual and logical. Oh, well, this makes sense. I just had them drill into my head like 2 hours ago. So of course my head is going to hurt. So do you find that your approach to life, I'm assuming this is how you've always approached life. Do you feel that this has been helpful to you?
I think so in every aspect. I grew up playing sports, super interested in that. Obviously, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like stuff like being benched and stuff, you're like, okay, what's the decision making process behind here? Like I've learned from the past and previous things, even in my major accounting, certain things just I want to figure out the why behind them and not just jump to conclusions. And I think that's helped me get where I am now and grow and help me attack this situation.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing the chemo and the radiation. Is it IV chemo or oral?
Oral chemo. They couldn't do the IV chemo because it would attack the brain and just kill too many things up here.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
Mm-hmm.
so radiation for every weekday for 30 days, and then the chemo pill I take every night, every like for 40 something days.
Okay. And so you said you're coming up on the end of the chemo and the radiation.
Yes.
Okay.
Today was the first day they had to cancel the radiation because the machine broke, but I will be back tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
So tomorrow will be day 22 done out of 30.
Okay. And then I'm assuming after that, you get a little bit of a break. They'll do another MRI and then you'll reassess.
So then they take about a month for the swelling in my brain to go down and then take the MRI and then see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any side effects from your brain being, a little swollen?
Yeah. Actually last week. So I mentioned the numbness in my face. So that started those, I found those out to be seizures. When you think of seizures, you think of like tensing up and like falling on the ground, stuff like that. I had no idea, but they told me that was a seizure. I had a seizure last week, the first time since surgery. And they think that might have been because of the swelling in the brain. Mm-hmm. But best thing to do, mindset, remain calm. Called my mother on the phone, had her talk me through it. Was texting the nurse back and forth, what to go, like what to do. Mm-hmm. So that is the only major side effect I've had. And we've only had one. And that was in between me kind of switching medicines, but it feels like that it's under control and I have a way to emergency stop it if necessary.
Mm-hmm. So you said that you were just getting ready to start a job, right? How has the job been through all of this?
Phenomenal. Yeah. I made contact with my senior manager once, twice, and he was like, here, these are the people who I'm going to refer you to. This is what you do. Quick, one phone call. They sent it to my doctor's office, put me on disability, and I haven't really had to focus on that sense. And I feel like that's very important in a time like this where I'm not worried about, is my job going to be okay? I'm starting off my life on the wrong foot, like, and with a foot in the, like falling over, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everybody could take a lesson from your company because not every company is that considerate of a medical issue that is obviously legitimate and needs to be handled right away. So shout out. What's the name of the company?
PwC.
And what is it, an accounting firm?
Accounting firm, Big Four accounting firm. Yes.
Congratulations. Congratulations. And you had just moved to Manhattan.
Yes, it was. I opened up a new chapter in my life. I just moved into my girlfriend in this apartment I'm in right now, and I was just like ready to go. And then now they just try to pull me back, but I'm doing great.
You're doing great. So what are the things that you're doing to keep yourself positive? And one of the things I want to distinguish for people is there's optimistic and there's positive, right? And then there's this toxic positivity that our culture seems to have, where you're never allowed to have a down moment, where it's like, cheer up. And if I hear on TikTok one more time that if somebody dumps you, it's not rejection, it's redirection, I'm like literally going to scream, because I think that sort of does people a disservice of being like, you can't ever feel like you're having a real emotion. You got to just put on that face. So for you, what's that like?
Well, I'm glad I'm not on the side of that side of TikTok where they're telling me that. But I think it's okay to face on these problems head on. Like, it's not like I can't just toss this out in the back. It's constantly on my mind. No pun intended. It's constantly there. I'm thinking about it. It's okay to attack these things and just, go down a rabbit hole of what these negative things, but as long as you can come out on the other side and maintain this positive attitude, not the toxic positivity, but like really in yourself, feel good and feel good what's happening. If not, then you talk to a therapist, talk to your family, things. But I have had so much support around me where I've been able to freely talk and just really express my thoughts, and everyone knows what's going on around me. And I'm just so thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. I love that you mentioned talk to your therapist. Thank you for that. I love that. That's so good, because not too many people even put that on the list, right? So it sounds like for you, you've had an incredible support system, but you came in with an attitude of like a can-do attitude. Like, does that come from your parents, or is that like your own personality style?
I think it's got to come from my parents. The way that they raised me, I think that's just the way that I am is because of them. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. Like, I'm very appreciative for them and like how I am now. They always tell me so proud of me, but I'm like, I am proud of them for raising me the way that I am. Mm-hmm. They talk about like, they're like, sometimes they say like, do you like realize like the severity of what's going on? And I'm like I fully understand, and I'm facing it on head on. And I know like how scary this can be, but everything around me just feels so supportive that I'm able to face this the way that I am. And I think that's partly because of the way that they raised me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for your parents to see this. It's
probably going to smile at what I just said.
Yeah,
Thankful.
Absolutely. So in your spare time, I've been watching your TikTok a little bit, and you've gotten really involved in movies. So where does that come from?
I have no idea, because my parents aren't huge movie buffs, but it's something that I've always just been drawn to. And now in a time like this, like I've always loved movies. I started a movie podcast with my friend earlier this year before I even knew about any of this. They just kind of feel like a lot to me. They can be escape if I want to, or I can like think about questions I want to ask myself, or just my life in general, what's going on. So I love that they do that for me. And it's this diagnosis has allowed me to kind of just say, put myself out there. Never in a million years would I thought like, I'm just going to go on TikTok and start posting on talking about movies. But this is kind of in a positive way. Like, this is giving me a push, be like, do this, like, go see where this can take you.
So this was really like a random decision. I'm just going to like put on TikTok and see where this goes.
Yeah. I thought about doing it earlier this year, and then I ended up just ultimately turning myself down. And then this was kind of just like, do it. Just what do you have to lose? Like, just go do it.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. So I haven't watched all of them, but I've been watching some of them. How do you decide? It looks like sometimes you have a theme, sometimes you have a director, so how do you decide like what's going to be like the movie of the day or the movies of the day? How many do you watch in a day?
Oh, there are movies of the day. I have a lot of off time right now. So mainly all I've been doing is going to treatment, and then I kind of just don't really have much to do. Mm-hmm. So I've just been watching movies. I do this thing every week where I do Commenter's Choice Ranked, where I just want to hear people recommend me movies. So I can pick them, see what they think, and then I'll give my rating, and then I'll rank them all at the end of the week. But then sometimes I just want to be like, okay, let's just go watch this or new theater release, or my girlfriend wants to watch something and we'll put that on for the night. So it's just kind of whatever comes, whatever comes, I'll watch.
Mm-hmm. So rumor has it, and I saw a little bit of your review on this, but rumor has it from one of my sons, and I'm sure you know which one it is, that you didn't really like Cars that much.
I actually knew exactly where that was coming from. I knew it. I knew Trevor was a big Cars fan. I put it that low. I like Cars. Cars is good. I just don't love Cars, but all Pixar movies are great.
Mm-hmm. So which was your favorite Pixar?
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. Yes, I remember seeing that. I don't see that one didn't resonate with me. What'd you like about it?
I don't know. Remy, like something about you could smell that movie. You could smell the cooking and the controlling, and just like there's something about that movie I've always loved as ever since I was a child. It's always just stuck with me. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite Pixar movie. It's maybe my favorite animated movie of all time.
Of all time. So that's just a feel-good movie that you got to watch.
I can toss on at any time.
Okay. What's another movie that you can watch at any time?
Another movie I could watch at any time. I'll go The Batman. Just recently came out. People don't love that movie because it's a longer, darker movie, but sometimes I just love being in that kind of just like dark place late at night and just like love a detective movie. And I could always watch that.
Mm-hmm. Before The Batman, who was your favorite Batman? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I don't love Christian Bale as Batman, but I think he's good. The older Batman, I wasn't a huge fan, and I'm going to give a controversial answer, but the recent Ben Affleck. I think he's a great Batman.
Good. I think he was good. But I have to say my favorite was Val Kilmer. I think he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. I love Val. I love him.
Mm-hmm. So if I could put in a plug, because, you know, and I hope your parents would be with me on this, the Gen Xers, you got to do an 80s series.
I love the 80s. Mm-hmm. 80s movies are great. Mm-hmm. I'll get an 80s movie for this week for you.
Because you got to do 16 Candles, Weird Science, like all of those John Hughes, Pretty in Pink, all of the John Hughes films. I would love to see which one is your favorite.
I'm added into the watch list. Mm-hmm. I'll get them watched. Mm-hmm.
And which? How about Poltergeist? Do you like the scary ones?
I love horror movies. My mom said that was one of the scariest movies when she was younger. I watched it. I was like, I don't think this is that scary.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's a generational thing because back then we didn't have CGI and we didn't have it was freaking scary. That movie like tormented me for years. So even like, I don't know if you remember in the movie, that little lady who's like, this house is clean. Like that freaked me out for like ages.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but
ask your parents about it. It's creepy. It gives me the creeps. So what's next for you? I mean, you could become like the next, I don't know if you know about like the movie reviewers in the past, but Siskel and Ebert, do you know of them? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ask your parents about them or look them up. They were the movie reviewers of like the 80s, like 90s. One would give thumbs up, one would give thumbs down, like no movie could get past them. So, I mean, is Jagger Rubio the next?
That'd be nice. I'm kind of just seeing wherever this takes me. I'm on the ride of social media now. So, like, I'm here. I want people to care about what I'm saying, and I want to make a community and just care about what people are saying and hear and listen, and for the people.
And you're going to attract your community. Like one of the things that you will find on social media is the good people will find you because you have a great message. Like if you had something that you needed to say to people who are struggling either with cancer or with a similar issue, what not advice, but what inspiration or what words could you say to them?
I mean, if anyone's going through that or anyone like here, like I'm glad that I now have a page where people can reach out to me. And I will respond at every time.
Oh my God, you do. You respond. All of my dumb comments, you respond to them.
I respond to every comment because I feel like I have like such a small, tight-knit thing now where, I mean, half of them have come from my mom's Facebook page probably, but half of them have come from movie loving. but I want to make a place where everyone can feel welcome to ask me questions, and I'll happily have a talk. I could, if someone wants to give me their phone number and have a talk with them, I would.
So
my message would be, everything's going to be okay. It'll all work itself out. There is a plan. Like there is a way that we can see through this.
And you can feel that. Like, I can tell, like, this isn't like someone said to you, stay positive, say an affirmation, blah, blah, blah. Like, I could tell you feel this in your gut.
I fully believe it.
So tell everyone where they can reach you.
TikTok, Jagger Rubio, all in one word. And then the Watch List podcast is where me and my friends talk about movies every week. I have a great time once a week going on there and talking movies with them. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my God, I absolutely love that. Anything else that you want people to know before we wrap?
No. Stay positive.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Jagger Rubio, for being on the show. I am wishing you all the best. I know the Ellick send you tons of love. Trevor says hi. Owen says hi. Everybody just is standing there with you. So thank you again for being here today. We're going to do a follow-up on you if you're okay, and check in on you in another few months and see how you're doing.
Absolutely. I had a great time talking to you. So thank you for having me on.
Awesome. So hang out for a sec. And don't forget to tune in to the next episode of From Mayhem to Mindset with Dr. Laura. Peace out. Thanks for joining us on From Mayhem to Mindset. If you found today's episode helpful, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave a 5-star review. It really helps spread the message. Want to dive deeper? Check out my book, Wisdom from the Universe, available now on Amazon. And if you're looking for a speaker to inspire and transform, I'd love to connect. Visit www.lauraellick.com to learn more. Remember, you don't have to just survive, you can thrive. See you next time.